I'm Chloe Sky, and welcome to what I like to do in my free time. It's chaos. Hey dolls, how are ya? Good to see you. In case you were wondering, something that sparks a lot of joy in me is toys. I like toys of all kinds. I have a rather large collection of stuffed animals and an even smaller collection of vintage and porcelain dolls. Toy playing and using my imagination to play with these toys was a large part of my childhood, so owning toys as an adult gives me that good old nostalgic feeling. Top 3 games that I would play would involve The Littlest Pet Shop, General Stuffed Animal, Adventure, and the dramatization in my world of Barbie. My favorite Barbie doll, Mattel doll, was and still is Midge, which is a nickname for Bridget, though her name is Margaret. And Peggy is a nickname for Margaret. Why am I talking about all of this, you ask? Because this is the Midge video. I've thought about this one for a while, and I have some stuff to say. So, if you don't know what Barbie is, even after the movie and the whole rebrand of the Barbie girl concept, that's okay. Barbie, Barbara Millicent Roberts, was the main plaything for girls everywhere in the year 1959. Midge, Margaret Hadley, later Hadley-Sherwood, came out just 4-ish years later in the year 1963. Though Barbie remained blonde all the time, Midge did go back and forth between being a brunette and redhead. The red became the norm by the time Midge's popularity reached Barbie's height. Boyfriends were introduced. We have Alan, who is Midge's boyfriend and later husband. Yes, husband, we will get to that. And an overall nice, though very little mentioned guy. I'm actually pretty glad he got some important screen time in the Barbie movie because as a kid, I did not know the man's name. I mean, I hardly had a kin. My Barbies all dated my siblings' G.I. Joes. Anyway, while Barbie was going out and about trying out different careers, Midge wanted to go for another career, the career of wife, mother, and homemaker, which, I'm not dissing that. I know this to be a sensitive subject, but I seriously think that, raising a family and balancing life is a job. It's incredibly hard, but a lot of people have that as a goal, and it can be an attainable goal. That's fine. And I believe that Midge was supposed to be the representation of that role in a whole doll instead of just an outfit change. I mean, that's certainly the career to do it for. However, being in juxtaposition with the perky blonde that everyone knows and loves for some reason, did not help this line. Wedding Day Midge came out in 1990. And there was a whole wedding party pack, and just a year later, Beautiful Bride Barbie came out. When Happy Family Midge came out, Route 66 Adventure Barbie and Ken came out, complete with matching outfits. Yeah, they were trying to say something totally subtle there. And eventually things just sort of, fell off. Oops. No. Mattel realized that Midge was being perceived the same way that baby dolls were being perceived. It was still children playing house, nothing wrong with that, but a bit unnecessary at such a smaller scale. Barbie was also taking up careers like Avon and home seamstressing, so anything for, as far as an actual career would go at the time for stay-at-home moms to do was kind of going out of the window. This left Midge to be forever concreted in this role so that they had to make their next move. And I think they wanted a doll that could do something, a doll with that it factor, that had the edge on her best friend. And then it hit them. Pregnant doll, a pregnant doll, pregzy doll that can give birth to a tiny little baby doll, a baby doll, if you will. This is the commercial.
Together we can be happy family. Beat Midge, Ellen, Brian, so baby makes four. Happy family with room for one more. Dr. Barbie on call.
It's a girl.
Changing table, a cradle and a doll. Little one needs lots of care. Let's take a stroll, go everywhere. Together we can be happy family.
Happy Family sets, each sold separately.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah. Women should totally have the right to do that, the same as they have the right to work, and young children can be taught that as an option. Midge can stand alongside Barbie just like she always has. So why wasn't it fine? Well, first of all, we have the implications of society. Jump back with me to the early 2000s, or the mid-aughts as the kids say. Midge has been married since the 90s, and countless of beautiful bride dolls and pretend weddings have played out for over a decade. Barbie has been a canonical bridesmaid, but always stayed a career woman. And the next step for Midge was to go deeper into the path of motherhood. Along came Ryan, I'll be bringing up that name later, and next comes Nikki. Now, Nikki was the special one because baby Nikki was sold inside of Midge's womb. Like a surprise pack or a very short experience for a nesting doll. They were sold alone in the box, and this is the first problem that people had with it. And when I say people, I mean parents. I'll tell you right now, I did not care. I was playing out very dramatic scenarios in my world of Barbie. Like, what makes you think every single one of them hadn't already given birth? They had. There were babies. There was drama. There was drugs. Me. You think a doll giving birth is scary? Yeah. Okay. Anyway, people were creeped out and thought it would promote teen pregnancy or single motherhood, which no, it wasn't. We had the wedding party pack. We knew she was married. Walmart literally pulled the doll, though, until she came back with a wedding ring on her finger and cardboard cutouts of Ryan and Alan on the box. So Mattel just took one big hard L on that one. Midge was locked into being the odd one of the bunch forever. They tried to go for the really big family thing, like really hard still. Like they had a third baby, Cassandra, and then unnamed twins. Hell, they did not stop there. They added grandparents. All of them together became a lot like the Hart family line, which had come out in the 80s and had been less successful, but also was going for that big family look. Look at them side by side. The damage had been done. This time they had to open a doll up and take a baby out. And what if kids might think that was okay? Or that's how bodies worked. When one of the biggest ironies is that Barbie, the doll of, or at least her style, was modeled after a sexual gag gift. And female children are usually given baby dolls from the time they are toddlers to learn about infants, which usually extends to the knowledge that they come from mothers. I am going to have an aneurysm. After this strange adventure, Midge disappeared. She fell off of the market, and we explored Barbie's career paths. We didn't see her in video games, one of the background dolls of commercials. It was really like they were sweeping her under the rug faster than you could remove that magnetic womb and cut that magnetic cord, sold separately. The modern Midge has since been rebranded from those curious times, but, just as another one of Barbie's friends, nothing really special. The most remarkable thing about her is that she has no connection to Alan whatsoever. Maybe it's supposed to be Midge as, a late teen, young adult, before what's to come, a prequel, if you will. So essentially it was made fine. I mean, she moved to Malibu, so she must be doing okay. Midge reappeared in A Smidge of Midge 2013 in the series Life in the Dream House, where she appears as an older doll. Not that way, silly. Her and Barbie are the same age, but she can't bend the way that Barbie does, making her an older model. She's also cast in black and white and in old-fashioned makeup until she gets a makeover from Barbie. And I also believe that this was done on purpose. This is obviously a prequel to the Midge who got married and had 5 children, because the young man who briefly flirts with her, his name is Ryan. Ryan. Like her son. There's no way that wasn't done on purpose. There's no way. There's no way. Another thing that was done on purpose, now that I'm ready to get to the huge pink elephant in the room known as the Barbie movie, was the scene that was cut out of the Barbie movie's end credits. Midge was supposed to give birth, and great, we finally get to see what she'll give birth to and how. Will it be a doll? Magnets? And this is where the problem happened so hard. This is where it all fell off and they had to cut it out, because those beautiful bisque baby dolls shown in the very beginning were smashed to pieces. And I guess what a thinker that would have been. I mean, they really already did their job by immediately calling Midge weird. They didn't have to really rub it in with the idea that if little girls have wanted to play house for life, they would have kept their baby dolls. That was unfair. I wanted to see. Dearest Margaret Midge Hadley-Sherwood, who had been brought into reality to be someone else's best friend, the less pretty girl next door subjective of the boss babe, had a story where she wanted a big happy family. And once that story was told and ill-perceived, she was labeled the weirdo and then redirected so that her husband and children were forgotten. All of that history turned to mystery. But I still want to play with Midge. She's my favorite. Especially now with all the outcomes of the new dolls and new concepts and whatnot, it's really made me think. You see, Barbie can be anything, but the way it was marketed, especially at the time, Midge could only do the one thing. And it wasn't profitable to explore the inner world of motherhood from Midge's perspective. Taking kids to their soccer games, family vacations, PTA meetings with Teacher Barbie. Just like that, Midge was moved on from being Barbie's main bestie. In fact, Barbie could be anything, and Midge could only be a homemaker, while also losing the title of BFF. Is that what it took to be who you want to be? And I mean, I can feel sad about things. Like, I'm not saying Midge would have always been that. Maybe once the kids were older and in school, she would have taken up a hobby, or she would have become a vlogger, or the essential oils lady, or gotten a part-time job just to keep herself entertained. But the fact that Mattel just up and abandoned its ideas so quickly, causing Barbie to eventually get 100 other non-Midge friends in place of the OG best friend in the rebrand, that's the part that's a little depressing. This is a historic tale in the Barbie world, but if this were a real life story, it would leave me feeling a little hopeless and like something inside me was nagging. Not like a career or the experience of the joys of motherhood, not even a doll, but the forced acceptance of emptiness that comes with the concept of people growing and changing, a lot of the times in different directions. I suppose in my nostalgic, childish brain, I hope those vines will find their way back to each other and those two halves can be friends again. Until then, Midge, this is a song for you. I'm always gonna love you, Midge. I'm never gonna stop loving you, Midge. You were the first doll to get pregnant. I don't really think they gave you a chance. You're one of my favorite redheads, Bridge Margaret, this is your dance. I'm always gonna love you, Midge. I'm never gonna stop loving you, Midge. I'm always gonna love you, Midge. You're my favorite doll forever. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed that. Like I said, I wanted to make this one a while, and it's nice to finally see it, exist in reality. And I would like to take a moment and cite my sources like a good girl, and talk about them a little bit. Where I got a lot of information and inspiration was actually this one article written by Eliana Rosanov. Sorry if I butchered that. It's titled "For Promising Young Women, a Smidge of Midge." It was just a really good read. I have a lot of trouble with research and retaining information short term, so for it to engage me like that, I was really, really impressed. Props to them. Also, Emerald Fennell, who played Midge in the Barbie movie, is just a badass person, I guess. She's also very inspiring, and as a director, her 2020 film Promising Young Woman is on my watch list. And if you have a maternal figure in your life that you like or love, maybe try saying, "Hey, you're there, you're important, I love you," all that good jazz. Maybe gift them a doll or something. That's what I would do. Like and subscribe if you wanna, because I'll be here later. These are my other socials. And be good to yourself. I gotta go save a lizard from my cats. I love you. Bye.